Hi everyone, I am Jenny with Driving Recruiting, and here today Rhonda is going to be joining me. We will be talking about paid time off and holiday pay. Now, I do want to remind you guys that we are live, and you can enter all of your comments in the notification box down there, and we'll go ahead and take your questions from the comment section as we go through. If your comments come here at the end of our video chat, somebody will get to those.
Yeah, great. So, sorry about the little confusion there. I thought mine was on silent, but anyway, so I think it's a great time for us to have this conversation because we are, number one, we're coming up on the holidays.
Yeah.
Number two, we've had some great changes to, to our paid time off and holiday packages. So I think that, for me, I think the biggest thing was to find out that drivers no longer have to wait a full year before they get any paid time off. So that starts at 6 months
6
now.
months, yeah.
So I believe that it begins at 3 days at 6 months, and then it goes back to our, to that 1 year goes to that 2 weeks now instead of one.
Yeah, exactly.
So really a nice increase for time off for our drivers and recent time off.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the big things. That I do get that question a lot. What about when they're talking about benefits? One of the things that you guys have asked us about is, when do I get paid time off, or how does that work? And I think one of the things while we're talking about that, yes, you do have to wait till 6 months for paid time off, but it is a very flexible position as a driver. So, anytime that you have something coming up, if you give enough notice, usually they can work around that, taking that.
And definitely also any emergency situations, we handle them, case by case. But obviously, if there's any situation where there's a death in the family or something like that, our planning team will definitely make sure to get you home immediately.
Yeah, or the opposite. When I've had people that don't want to leave far from home because they're expecting.
Yes.
And that's a nice one too, because I know that. Our operations team will do everything in their power if you happen to be out on the road to get you back as quickly as possible. So I did work in operations for a year, and we actually had that happen, with someone, and it was amazing to watch the teamwork that went out across the board to get that driver back home right away so he could be there. So that's great for us. Now, like you had said, the unexpected life events, jury duty, all of those things are things that we do, that we do give drivers consideration for, which I think is nice. I don't think that it's something that, everyone does give their drivers or doesn't have the ability to do that. So looks like we've already got some questions coming in, so that's awesome. Alan Dale, you've got 12 years. It says he's got 12 years of driving experience, but haven't drove in 4 to 5 years. How would Schneider look at that, and what would I need to do?
Well, we definitely cover or count all of your experience within the last 10 years. So we would send you for a quick refresher course, depending on the type of position that you would hire onto. But it would be at least 4 days or so that we would do some refresher training, especially because it's been a couple of years. So just to kind of get back in the flow of things. But yeah, definitely we'll still go through a little bit of that training for you guys.
Yeah. And so the other thing too is, like she said, we give you the pay credit. Now, if you still have your license, that's, we certainly can get you moving right away. If you need to get your license renewed, I would suggest that you call in and talk with us about the options for doing that. To our recruiting specialist at 1-800-44-PRIDE. That way they can help us out with that as well, and get those answers to you.
Okay. We have another question in the comments there. Someone asking if we have any Spanish speaking representatives. We do. So definitely feel free to give us a call, 1-800-44-PRIDE, and select option 2 for Spanish, and there will be somebody that can answer you. If they're not available, leave a message. We'll get back to you whenever we can.
Okay, so then I think some of the other things that we wanted to talk about was, do you want to cover like service members? Kind of what we, we do talk about the fact that we are very proud of our military associates and drivers, and we're very pro-military.
Oh, yeah.
So some of those
Definitely.
things that we do for those.
For sure, yeah, we are definitely very flexible when it comes to that. We do guarantee home time for all of our service members that need to do for their weekend drills or even their annual training. Obviously, just let us know in advance so we can work on getting that coordinated. We do ask that the training itself, though, that you complete with Schneider, we'll go ahead and plan and work with you to make sure it doesn't land within those weekend drills or that annual training that you guys do. But otherwise, it definitely always guaranteed home time, making sure that we get you home in time for those.
Exactly. Someone is Raymond. Raymond is asking us, what is the policy for jury duty if you don't have PTO leave available? Now, I have not read the exact driver policy, but usually the policies are very similar to our associates, where it is, it does depend on.
I do want to point out jury duty is going to be in addition to your regular PTO. So even if you don't have PTO, we will still go ahead and make sure to get you home for that. And I believe there is an adjusted pay.
Right, and that was what I was going to say. It depends on, and also, like it kind of, talking about the adjusted pay. And I think last time I was called for jury duty,
because that is something that we know you cannot miss. So we'll make sure to get you guys home for that.
Exactly. Paid holidays. I think I was so excited. As a matter of fact, some of the fun we like to have here at Schneider is we are really into, having competitions and dressing up for Halloween. And the year that we introduced holiday pay for drivers, my team went as holiday pay. So we each dressed up as a different holiday. So I came as a Christmas tree. But I thought it was an awesome thing because really, due to the 24/7, 365-day nature, we can't obviously get every driver home for every holiday. So they have really come up with some ways to incentivize and to, make it, a better experience for our drivers. So it is a special rate and paid based on their tenure with Schneider. And it is paid for, there are six paid holidays that are available. The ones that are, that are covered for us are New Year's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas Day. So very, very good thing for that. Now, it is offered for both full-time and part-time. And again, the amount of pay is kind of an average and based on your, on your position and length of experience with Schneider. So that's how that works. And we can talk about that more during the interview and orientation process. When we're getting you scheduled for orientation, we cover a lot more about benefits and things with you at that point too, to kind of give you a little bit better idea. More questions coming in. I love it. Keep them coming. We are live. So those of you that didn't catch us right at the beginning, please don't hesitate to ask questions and we'll do our best to get them answered. So Christopher Thomas, do you have a school in Utah?
We don't necessarily have a school in Utah. We do have some programs where we partner up with different schools across the country. For that, you can definitely give us a call. We can look into more specifically. We'll go through the process and kind of go through that with you. But as of right now, I would say Schneider does not have a school in Utah.
Correct. We do have a training center in Utah, but it's not it's not one of the sites that we do our apprenticeship training at. We do conduct orientations there. But again, like you said, we do some great partnerships with some schools all over. So we have a team, our programs team handles all of the school relationships and finding those as needed and things like that. So that's a moving piece, I think is a good thing a good way to say that is because really with that one, it is based on, ever changing based on the needs of the area that you're in as well. So we do have another question being asked. Andrea Miller wants to know if PTO time rolls over to the next year if it is not used. I am going to have to say that I need to get some more clarification on that one, because I know that certain, there are certain things that do and don't depending on tenure and things like that. So we would definitely want to get back to you, and we can answer that in the comments, or you could give a call in and someone could look into that for you more. I don't want to mislead or give an inaccurate answer on that one. But thank you for the question, because it is, anytime we get questions and we don't know the answer to it, it's just a chance for us to learn more as well.
Exactly.
And some of these are new benefits too. So that was part of the reason why we wanted to bring this to you guys today. James would like to know, will there be a hiring event coming to Atlanta in the near future? He missed the last one. I know that we have field recruiters who are doing hiring events, and they do them in a rotation. If you go to our Schneider Jobs page, it will tell you, put in your zip code, and I believe it's on the right side of the screen. When you get in there, it will tell you about upcoming events and where they're going to be held. So take a look at that, James, and that should tell you when the next ones are going to be close enough for you to attend. So again, schneiderjobs.com. Okay. And we have Tito Gonzalez. I just filled out an application for Dedicated for Target and Georgia Pacific. I'm out of Philadelphia. Well, we'll be looking you up and getting in touch with you soon. We just had a great conversation with actually from our one of the operations leads for Target and Georgia Pacific. So I know that they are definitely looking for qualified drivers to join them. Lots of freight to move, and a lot of great perks that come along with some of our dedicated accounts too. So that's very nice. So we talked a lot about these events. As far as the holiday and vacation pay, just kind of reiterating that we do have great packages. We've made some enhancement to those packages. One more shout out, if you guys are looking to answer some questions, we'll be wrapping up here soon. So go ahead and get those into us if you are still listening and do have any questions. Kind of a recap. Schneider has started giving PTO as soon as 6 months with 3 paid days off. And then at 1 year, it goes to it used to be 1 week, so now it's 2
weeks.
Then, there are increases at 7 years of tenure, you get another week, those things as well. And then you kind of talked a little bit about some of the unexpected life events, PTOs. So kind of recapping, we have those for, those things like, death in the family, jury duty, those things that come up that you are, that you're needed to be at home for and maybe weren't expecting to happen. And service members. So we have a variety of different things that we offer. Again, this is a topic that is a great one. We offer, full medical, dental, vision insurance. We have 401k with company match. So if you would like to know more about our benefits, there's information on Schneider Jobs webpage, or you can certainly call into our screening center, 1-800-44-PRIDE, or if you are ready to get started, we'd love to have an application from you. So that would be you can apply directly at schneiderjobs.com. And one more question coming in. Jerome Ford would like to know, is JetSet Tanker a slip seat position? Yes. I think we did learn that, they are starting to even look at some other options for that. But as the general rule, you will be out of the truck for up to 7 days, Jerome. So they don't want that truck sitting for that long. They do have, I know they are just rolling out some other options in some lines of businesses. So that may be coming, where if you take a different configuration for home time than the full week, they may have some options for you to keep your truck. So again, but for the most part it is, but they do have people who are ensuring that those trucks are clean and ready to roll for you when you do get to them. You're not going to take over, a truck from somebody who is right.
Yeah, I think it also depends on the region. I know in some areas of the Midwest, I think some of those jet sets you always come back to the same location. So there's opportunity, but we always try to say, yeah, plan for a slip seat at least.
Right,
for the
exactly, for sure. So, all right, there is another question coming up. William Hardagel came in late, but he starts the CAP program on December 6th. Yay!
Yes.
What is the time off like at the end of training since it will be during the holidays?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see the calendar in my mind.
Yeah, December 6th, they end up they finish the third week, I think, on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. But I do know that right now anybody in training does get the accommodation of getting sent back home on the 24th. You guys get to spend the 25th at home, and then the 26th will either send you back to the training facility or to meet with your training engineer so you can continue the over-the-road training.
Exactly. We have done that kind of for the last several, as far as I can remember, we've always gotten drivers home for the holidays. So and then, you know, if that's the finishing and you have done your training time and everything, typical for drivers, William, is to get time at home after training. You know, you have an expectations exchange with your driver team leader, and you know, depending on, some drivers want to hit the road right away, some want to be home for a little while. So that's a conversation that you have that way. But like Jenny was saying, you will be at least to be home for, you know, leaving to the 24th and having 25th off and heading to wherever the next place you need to be is on the 26th.
And especially with the CAP program, you definitely will end up going home after the training because you got to go pick up your license from your state DMV anyways, and then you get to spend some time at home then.
Exactly. We do have another question. Chris is asking if he or she can apply if they were let go about 4 years ago. Definitely would need to give us a call so we could take a look at that. But we always reevaluate, you know, based on the situation and circumstances. So I would say definitely give us a call, get your application in. 4 years is definitely long enough that we would be able to take a look and see what we could do for you. Okay. I think we've covered just about everything. So you opened it up. I'll close it up by saying thank you everybody for joining us today. It was a great response. I love to see all the questions. As far as the couple of things that we weren't 100% sure about, we'll take a look at that and somebody will get an answer on here. And then just to let you know, holidays are coming up, so be safe out there. And give us a call with any questions or concerns that you have about our positions, and we'll be more than happy to do what we can for you. Have a great day.
Happy holidays.
Stay safe out there.